Hey guys, before I start today's video, I just wanted to say that I apologize that I haven't been really consistent on uploading lately. If you guys follow me on my Instagram, Tommy Klein Instagram page, you guys probably saw that my dog passed away. So a little over 2 weeks ago. So for the past 2 weeks, it's been very weird. It's like a new normal in the family, like just trying to get used to everything. And the video that you guys recently uploaded was already pre-recorded and done. I just was uploading it. And for another thing, those of you who are wondering about my American Muscle Show video, I am working on it. I mean it's done. I've been having issues like exporting, uploading to YouTube. I guess because there's music in the background. So I plan on just overlaying it and kind of explain like what I saw and everything, kind of like I guess like a documentary style, just kind of like a voiceover for the whole thing with some music. So I'm gonna try and have that done and upload it as soon as I can. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up what was going on. So now it's my first time filming since everything's kind of weird, and so let's jump right into the video. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Tommy's Kitchen. And today I'm gonna be showing you guys on how to make baked tortilla chips. Yes, you may be thinking, well, Tommy, you already showed us how to make tortilla chips, but those tortilla chips are fried. These tortilla chips we're gonna be baking. So basically, the difference between frying and baking is that baking is supposed to be more healthier choice, but even though these are chips, so chips aren't, the healthiest thing anyway, but I did my research and everything, and I found that the process is way more simple, way less of a mess, and more efficient. So let's head over to the ingredients table, and I'm going to show you guys what you're going to be needing to use. Right, guys, as you can see, this is really what we're all just going to be needing here. You're going to need a cooking sheet. You're probably going to be needing more than one. So I just have one, so I can just show you guys. We need some salt, and I'll explain the seasoning part when we get to it, because you can use more than just salt. We're going to need our oil. You can also use like a Pam olive oil, or vegetable oil, canola oil. I just use corn oil because we are using yellow corn tortillas, so that's why I figured yellow corn tortillas with corn oil. That's just my way of thinking. Just kind of have everything match. You need a cutting board, a cutting knife, and then I'll explain this paintbrush thing when we get to it. So alrighty, guys, let's head over and let's get started. Oh guys, and one last thing before we get started on doing everything. You can also use flour tortillas instead of using the corn tortillas. I just wanted to mention that before we get started. So boom, let's get started, baby. Alrighty, guys, so the first thing you're going to want to do is you're going to want to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. So we want to do bake, 350 degrees. Just look, the first one, and start. So that's going to preheat, and then once that's preheated, we can put our stuff in the oven. Alrighty, guys, so now we have our oven preheating to 350 degrees. So now the first thing you want to do is you're going to want to take your tortillas and just start cutting them so they're in the form of chips. So they can either be big, small, whatever way you want. So just kind of cut them like that. So now obviously they're not chip size. Cut them one more time. And I'm going to cut them an extra time to make them a little smaller. Cutting the chips. So now that we have our chips cut, so now what you want to do is with our oil, which if you have spray oil, you're going to maybe want to spray your tortillas first. Since we got regular oil here, I mean, you don't need this much, there's only a little bit in here. So what you want to do is, so if you have regular, like the big tortillas, what you could do is you can just take the spray and just spray both sides of your tortillas, and then you're done. So since I didn't do that because I forgot, because everything I do has to be difficult, So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take some of our oil here. Dump it. You probably don't even need that much. You're just going to want to take it, dab it in there a little bit, and then you're going to take your cooking sheet and just oil up the sheet. And I'll explain why I'm doing this in 1 minute. So now what you want to do is, when I lay my chips onto my sheet, I'm not going to have to do the side that it's laying on because technically it's already in the oil. So now this is good. So now you're just going to want to start laying your chips. So you want to do only one layer, because if you do more than one layer, you might run into issues when you're putting it in the oven. So you're just going to want to lay it kind of like that. So if you have maybe the bigger tortillas, you might need another sheet. It just depends on how you lay them out. So I'm going to go start laying mine out right now. If you actually kind of think about this, this is kind of like, I don't know if you ever played this old game called Tetris on your phones, or maybe like an old PlayStation or something, but this kind of is kind of like Tetris. You're trying to get these chips kind of lined up together in the groove so you can maximize the amount of space that you're using on your pan. Okay. So now, as you can see, this is completely covered in tortillas. So now I'm going to take my little thing again. Okay, so now for scientific purposes, I'm going to take out another cookie sheet and use the spray, and I'm just going to spray it. So then when it comes time for everything to be done, we are going to compare the tastes. As you can see, I got my pan right here. I got some canola palm oil. Okay, so now alrighty, so now as you can see, this pan is also covered in our chips. So just going to lightly spray our pan on top of the chips. So now that we have our chips all covered up in our oil, so now what we want to do is we're going to want to season our chips. So for video's sake, I'm just going to do your traditional salt. So I'm just going to take, there's a lot of salt that just fell out of there. We're going to take our salt and put it in our little thing here. So now you can get very creative. You can do whatever the heck you want. You could even put dry mustard on for all I care. Let me know in the comments down below on what flavor you're going to make your chips. I'm just going to do your traditional salt. So I'm just going to put my salt on here. So now when we get into the oven, we're going to want to put them in there for 8 to 10 minutes. And also halfway through that cooking period, you're going to want to go in there and rotate them so they can evenly cook. So I also wanted to mention that each person's oven is a little different, so that timing could be off maybe by a minute or two, give or take. So like my oven here is older than, let's say, you might have a newer oven, so the timing might be a little different. The timing on a newer oven might be more towards 8 to 10 minutes. The 8 to 10 minutes towards the older oven that we are currently using could be off a little bit, so I might need 12 or 15 minutes. Alrighty guys, I am actually on my phone right now. The camera's right up there. We're going to go take our chips, and yes, I still have leftovers for another batch. So we're going to take our chips. We're going to open up our thing. Just put them in there. Here we go. This one's very oily, so I probably put a little too much oil on this one. But I guess we're just gonna have to deal with it. Alrighty guys, it's been a little over 20 minutes. I think they're pretty much as done as they could get. Look, it's nice and crispy brown. Here comes the big one. Oh man, I can't get my hand in there. Here we go. They look good. So now, just gonna let them sit, let them cool off a little bit, and then we'll do a taste test. Alrighty, you guys, as you can see, they cooled off more than enough. So first, let's try our non-spray oil chips. Tastes like chips to me. That one's pretty good. Now let's try our spray oil one. They're both really good. The only thing I would do differently, because my timing was off, that I in there for an extra 10 minutes. I probably left them in there maybe a tad too long. So maybe I would have taken them out a little earlier. But as I mentioned earlier, my oven is a lot older than probably the average person's oven. So my one suggestion would do is definitely pay attention on the time. Try and get your timing down. And once you get your timing down with the oven that you got, you can master these chips and they'll come out perfect. These are honestly perfect. Perfect. Tastes like chips. Tastes like fresh chips you would get at a restaurant. Alrighty, you guys. That is how you make baked tortilla chips. So that wraps up today's episode of Tommy's Kitchen. If you like this video, please make sure you smash that like button. And if you want to see more videos like these, please consider subscribing. And if you want to follow me on social media, the links are down below. Alrighty guys, I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!